Speaking of the CIA controlling our minds,
Yeah.
don't you have a little story to tell us?
A little story.
Or you,
Once upon a time. So,
I thought you were going to keep going.
no. So have you ever heard of the GATED program? The GATE program?
No.
Okay. All right. The Gifted and Talented Education?
No.
Okay. Got it. All right. So it's a program that was started way long ago back in the 80s. All right.
That is long ago.
Not way, right down in the corner. But the thing is, it was this program that was being funded, and it was put into schools. And basically, schools would recognize and pick out certain kids. It seemed kind of random. Maybe it was kind of like an IQ thing, possibly. But they would pull these kids out of rooms, and they would just do certain testing and reading and stuff like that. And it just, like made a lot of kids feel special. Some kids felt, like
Not so special?
Yeah, not so special because they weren't in the Gifted and Talented program. I just learned about it last week, so I'm pretty ticked that I was never involved. But it's just kind of a cool system, right? The thing is, the problem with this program is that the origins of it, they are funded and created by the CIA.
Oh, I think you say Bill Gates because gated.
You gotta forgive him, Lil. You gotta move on past Bill Gates. Okay,
Okay, move on.
not everything bad in this world is because of him. Most of them are, but not all of them. The rest are CIA. But the CIA is literally funded
Wow.
this program. And it makes you wonder, like, why would they do that? But the thing is, in 1974, they had to nix MK Ultra. They had to nix it because things came out. A lot of bad stuff was happening. It could not be out in the open anymore. And so you think, why would the CIA create a program and bring kids into a room and test them? And the thing is, that's really strange all about it, is that the more that people talk about this program, more kids who knew that they were in the GATE program are realizing and remembering things that they completely forgot about. Things that, like, oh my gosh, I do remember seeing these patterns being shown to me and these certain questions being asked.
And playing frequencies in headphones.
They would
No way.
they would have audio tests, and it would be you just describe the sounds that you're hearing and everything like that.
It could be ideology, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like whatever. Like, who knows what they've been doing? And there's a lot of comparisons in these people over time that they've gone down, and that people have surveyed and people looked, and just basically common physical characteristics.
Okay.
Physical stuff is blue eyes, forehead scars, which is very common, and the I don't know how to pronounce it. Occipital, occipital bun, the math bump, right on the back of your head. There's this bump sometimes. Some people have it, some people don't, but a large majority of the people that were in the GATE program had that thing, and it has something to do with just a different type of area in your brain where people apparently possess just different types of
Hold on. Do you guys
gifts and traits.
Who was
not
around?
have bumps?
Okay, don't rub it in your face.
Who was going
No, I don't
around
think I have
feeling everybody's heads?
That's the thing. Who knows how they pick these people out, right? No. Psychological characteristics, high IQ, some like up to like 140. Memory loss.
Oh, no.
Some people have had, no joke, like a lot of people have had near-death experiences, specifically drowning,
What?
which is super strange.
That's weird.
But there's just so many different things that that have just like, it's a wide net almost, but it's very specific. And they would sit these kids down and they would test them with questions that wouldn't make sense. Like one question, this one guy's like, this is what kind of, I remember hearing the question and thinking this is strange. One question was just, how many hairs are there?
What?
They couldn't prompt them. They couldn't do anything. They would bring these kids into a windowless room. Every single time it had to be a windowless room. They would have audio tests. They would ask them very, very strange questions that you wouldn't understand like the reason behind it. Like, if you're losing a football game, what do you say to your team to motivate them? Like, and there's right and wrong answers and stuff. And some people just had really weird trips as well. They would take field trips with the GATE program
No.
outside of the school. In one instance, they took literally kids into a museum, into a room where there was a mummy.
What?
And they had them stay overnight with no parental supervision.
What?
What are you? Where are their parents?
I don't know. But you think about it. When you hear your kid comes home with a paperwork that says, like your kid's gifted and talented and we really want to, pull him out of class for long periods of time during the school year to learn these things, you're like, oh yeah, let's go. Why not? Give my kid a great chance to go. But it's just, there's different things that are happening. A lot of people are having memories come back. And over time, as they get older, people have realized that also they're not getting in trouble with the police as much. they're getting a bit of leniency when it comes to police stops, interrogations, or anything like that. When they find out you're a gate kid in the gate program, there's leniency like toward your way.
Pause.
Yeah.
It follows you into adulthood?
That's the thing. People don't know why they did it because it's no longer around technically, that specific program, but
Could just be
it makes you wonder.
Like conformity correlation, like kids who went through that program, let's just say they're brainwashed into something, like they follow certain like communication guidelines or something like that. It
Yeah.
gets them out of different
But you have,
scenarios.
That is
but
so
you have
bizarre.
these kids being blindfolded in these tests as well, trying to move things,
It's full on strange.
trying to see patterns. It is definitely Stranger Things type, like
Yeah.
conspiracy, but this is all
Montauk or
real. It's
whatever.
all actually happened, and they don't know why. Some people have really negative experiences with it, and I learned most of this from the podcast Theories of the Third Kind. They're great. They have a lot of stuff out there too. You should check them out. But my buddy Trent Roseman shared me this podcast and kind of is like, you guys got to talk about this. But it's a fascinating thing because there's so much conspiracy around it, and a lot of people think that they're trying to get into the extra sensory,
Yeah.
whatever that's called.
Okay. How are you answering the question, how many hairs are there?
More than one.
That's actually, they're like, get this kid up here.
This kid, he's our next president.
What
oh my
is
gosh.
hair?
Dude,
But you think about the scars. You think about the bump. You think about all these things. Like, I mean, what's the conspiracy there? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, are they trying to study certain people? Or are they trying to keep an eye on certain kids? I mean,
It does sound like an experiment with a certain type of individual.
yeah.
Yeah.
dude, it almost finishes or meets all of those requirements.
It's
Who?
called extrasensory perception. So it's basically the sixth sense. Like them, like that's what like a lot of people fall on. Like they're trying to identify kids who have this extrasensory perception and can maybe have EVP, like have,
Oh my gosh.
like all this strange things. And it just doesn't make sense. It's just kind of just a really, really strange thing.
That's so weird.
What do you think? Like, what do you think? Does like, cause
I mean, I think it's a continuation of a CIA program. And I think if you think about what has happened, at least within the U.S. culture and society, since the 90s, the 80s and 90s, I mean, at face value, you could see that it's gotten a lot worse, with like just respect towards others and just like I just remember in the 90s, like everyone would it just seemed like everyone was pretty nice to each other. Granted, I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
But like, it just seemed more.
there was courtesy. There was a sense of
Yeah.
courtesy. Like there was like, it really does feel like a free for all.
Yeah,
No.
but also you look at like, I don't want to go down too many paths or whatever, talk about them, but like gender confusion and like just the way some kids are raised up completely not cool with, I don't know, what is good, what is right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems weird that like it could have been like a I don't know. If there's a agenda, this globalist agenda, right? What they have to do is they have to destroy cultures and societies and people, and to do that would be like some sort of, or a way that you could do it would be like a brainwashing thing, and
Yeah.
like you just change their outlook on things, and I don't know.
I mean, there's kids that even claim that they all like different states, everything getting claimed that they were fed pink juice. Like they had to drink this pink juice while they were in this room as well.
That's
And
weird,
they're looking at blank screens on a projector, shapes that make no sense, and you have to talk about how you feel about it. Like it's such a strange thing. And for the CIA to be involved, there has to be something malicious.
Yeah.
These are children. These are impressionable children that could be manipulated. Could be like,
Yeah.
I mean, you taking them out of the rhythm and the comfortability of their own classroom.
Yeah.
They're missing out on socialization. Like maybe that's it. Maybe are they trying to isolate these kids?
Well, you think about like the combination of the last video I shared. If there's like a mind control for general populace, and then you're trying to like isolate the kids with high IQ, the thinkers, builders, dreamers.
Yeah.
Like let's pull them aside and make sure that we've got
We
something
can affect them
advanced
too. Yeah.
to hold them to conformity.
That's it. We're homeschooling.
Homeschooling.
I would not advise for that at all.
That's so weird.
Me either.
I don't like it. It makes you feel icky.
Yeah,
I-
it makes me feel icky too.
Weird question to move on. I'm just going to drop it out there, but I'm going to look into it and make sure the shooter wasn't a gifted and talented student.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I'm going to look into it.
That was my first thought, honestly.
Interesting.
It feels weird. It feels too weird.
No, it was weird because I started listening to that too.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, like, I remember I doubt that our school that we went to did that.
We had the Duke Tip program.
Duke Tip?
Duke Tip. It was run by Duke University.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I texted my mom because I was like in gifted programs, so I was trying to remember stuff, and she gave me the most mom answer. Said, "Was I part of GATE program in school, like gifted students?" She said, "Doesn't sound familiar, but you always have been."
And I've always said that.
I'm proud of you no matter what.
You certainly are gifted.